I was raised in the church. I was raised, in fact, in the United Church of Christ. I was raised, in fact, at First Congregational United Church of Christ in Platteville, Wisconsin, a great demonstration of the fact that we only have so many names for churches that are available. I was baptized. I was confirmed. I went to Sunday school, and I sat through so many boring sermons. I was part of the youth group. I was in more nativity plays than I care to remember. I gradually learned my faith from hanging around, from being in the space, from getting the gist, from being loved by people who had found this faith before me. And I've told you this story before, but eventually I fell in with a group of Christians who told me that none of that mattered. That I was a Christian in name only. That if I really wanted to follow Christ, I needed to confess my wretchedness and fall on my knees and say the sinner's prayer and invite Jesus into my heart. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just, when I showed up to this community, I thought that I was a part of it. And I was told that I was not. That I needed to be different. That I needed to learn to be different. That I needed to put away the faith of my youth and do the things that would make me a Christian. Christians have this thing that we do. All of us. You probably do it. I definitely do it. It is a thing that Christians do, some more and some less, but we all do it. We all act like we are here because we are awesome. Because we're cool, because we figured it out. Because Jesus called to us and we followed. Because Jesus came to find us and we let ourselves be found. Because Jesus knocked at the door to our hearts and we answered. And that's all true in a way. But it is easy to make it about the things that we did. I responded to Christ's call. I let myself be seen by my Lord. I answered the knock of my Savior. I am here because I did the right things. But that misses the beauty of the story, the beauty of the gospel, the beauty of all of this. I am not here because I am awesome. I am not here because I am cool. I am not here because I did the right things. I am here because God. I want to continue that sentence so badly, but I don't have to. I am here because God. I am here because Christ. I am here because the God who is love saw me in my brokenness and came into the world as one of us among a dispossessed people in an occupied land to parents who could not find a place to stay for the night, and lived the life we cannot lead and loved the love we cannot love, even though it took them to the cross and it took them to the grave. And then they got up and stepped out of the tomb and called us into new and abundant life. And dare I say, dragged me into new and abundant life, kicking and screaming. The God who is love saw us laboring under the powers of sin and death and everything that makes life less, and said no to that and yes to something else. Yes to our holiness, yes to our wholeness, yes to loving us and all of creation. And that means that we are guests in God's reign of love, because God was kind enough to invite us to go out into the streets and to find those folks who had nothing else, who had nowhere else to go, who were not finding a home in the world, and say, come. Come to this party, come to this feast, come to this new and abundant life. It is easy for us to think that we're here because we are awesome, that we are here because we are cool, but we are not. We are here because God. We are guests. So there is no seat of honor for us to take. We come in every bit as broken as we were before, and take our seat and wait for God to lift us up. And God is lifting everyone up. God is lifting all of us up. God is lifting us off the ash heap. God is bringing us to a table where everyone is welcome. There's a question, of course. How do you be a good guest in God's reign of love? I know how to be a good guest in this world. I know that you don't show up empty-handed. Bring a gift or a bottle of wine or a snack or something to share. I know that you follow the rules of the house that you are in. If they want you to take off your shoes, you take off your shoes, even if you feel a little weird about your feet. You eat what is laid before you. You drink what is offered. I know how to be a good guest in the world. But God asks for something more, something so important, something so amazing. God asks us to be good guests by being good hosts, by joining in that work of hosting, by joining in that work of sharing, by joining in that work of going out to the streets and to the fields and finding those who are not at home in the world and inviting them into something so much more amazing. God asks us to share in the work of repairing the world, of redeeming creation, of inviting everyone in. And that work, I firmly believe, will not be finished, will not be completed, will not be done until the very last person has found a home in God's reign of love. God's party does not leave anyone out. God's feast does not leave anyone unfed. God is always inviting, and we are always inviting with God, sharing the love of God with each other, with our friends and our neighbors, with our strangers, with enemies, until the whole world is covered in love, until this party that God started so long ago is everywhere, spilled out onto the streets, filling the world. Until we are all served with love, until we are all serving love, until we are all abiding in God. And what a wonderful world that will be. But also what a wonderful reign that is right now. Right now, where we can share love, where we can invite people in, where we can be hospitable, where we can be good hosts and good guests to one another. For until the world is full of love, we can cultivate love here and out there and everywhere we are. We can abide in God even now while we wait for God's reign to come to fruition. We can experience now what is to come, and in so doing, help what is to come grow and flourish. Being a good guest is a wonderful thing. Being a good host is wonderful work. Let us do it with God's grace and God's help. Let us work for that world where everyone has a seat at the table.